Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Hogwarts Legacy came out roughly almost 2 years ago. It had massive sales, to say the least. I believe to date it's sold over 30 million copies. It it made all the money. A nice little fun game, not so fun game, but there's no denying that, well, it sold. There was an ideological attempt at a boycott of it that failed astronomically miserably, to the point where streamers were being threatened and dogpiled on if they even dared to try and play the game, called all sorts of names, all the usual suspects in the so-called games media outlets out there, the usual suspects, Rant, interference, chastising, demonizing J.K. Rowling over and over and over again because, well, of course, that's the author of the Hogwarts series, even though the game was done by a different studio. Playing a video game, you have to be associated with J.K. Rowling if you play this video game. You are supporting her if you're playing this video game. Over one article after another, constantly bringing it up instead of talking about the game. And, well, as I said, that little attempt at a boycott went absolutely nowhere. And with the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy 2, looks like a few of these websites are trying to get ahead of the curve, because none other than Game Rant decided to, well, put their own little article out from Megan Lorich. Hogwarts Legacy 2 can't sidestep the franchise's biggest controversy like the original did. What controversy did the original sidestep? None. That's none. All about the author. No one cared about the author. There was even praise, or I guess discussion, we'll go with discussion, that the bartender at Hogwarts Legacy was a trans character. I do remember that lovely little story where the activists, the terminally online activists, were up in arms because, well, they claimed that the bartender's voice was simply done by a man dressing up and acting like she had the voice of a woman, or he had the voice of a woman. Come to find out that it was an actual British trans woman voice actor that did it. It's almost like the jokes write themselves, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do? But yeah, the other controversy, all about the author, all about this, because we can't sidestep it. Are y'all going to try another boycott? I do hope you do. Let's send the sales of Hogwarts Legacy 2 into the stratosphere. Make them so massive that even Jeff Keighley can't ignore part 2 like he did with Hogwarts Legacy at his so-called Game Awards, the industry shill Game Awards. For years, the Harry Potter franchise has dominated pop culture, and, well, depending on how the HBO show does, it will continue. If HBO knocks out their little 10-season series, or how 10 season? 7 season? Either way. If they knock it out of the park with the episodic Harry Potter story, the Harry Potter will continue to dominate, will continue to be, I guess, in the zeitgeist, continue to be talked about, and will probably live longer and not be destroyed like other beloved popular franchises. With Hogwarts Legacy acting as the franchise's most popular video game adaptation, it's no wonder that controversy surrounding the franchise has sprung up at some point that most normies ignore like the plague. They avoid it. They don't see it. They don't pay attention to the nonsense that goes on Twitter, on YouTube, on X, whatever you want to call it. All these screeches and screams for boycotts and articles denigrating J.K. Rowling because, oh my goodness, she has a different opinion than you. They love Harry Potter, Hermione, Harry, Ron, all of that. They love the series, they love the characters, they love the books, they love the world, and they continue to support it, and they just don't care about the author. But we still get articles like this. Nevertheless, it's disappointing that such a well-loved piece of pop culture has been sullied in the eyes of many Potterheads because, well, they don't know how to separate the art from the author. Despite new content for the franchise like Hogwarts Legacy continuing to release to massive, massive sales. Unfortunately, Hogwarts Legacy was unable to unmuddy the name of the Harry Potter franchise. Why is that? It was a popular game. People enjoyed it. 30 million copies. That's a success. While the game may have been met with a positive player and critic response, well, yeah, It was also the subject of boycotts, failed upon release. Avalanche Software and Warner Brothers Games tried to placate fans within the game itself. They did? The developer's attempt was poorly received by lunatics online. It goes without saying that Avalanche Software and Warner Brothers Games cannot try to avoid controversy the same way Hogwarts Legacy did in the game's allegedly slated sequel. I have an idea. What these developers need to do is say, hey, here's what we did with our game. I hope you enjoy it. And completely ignore you individuals who screech and scream and holler for boycotting the game. The ones that go out and dogpile on streamers because they just want to stream the game and have some fun. Going around and bullying said streamers to the point of tears and getting them to shut down their streams and shut down their channels because, well, the tolerant part of that group just wants to have their voices to be heard, right? J.K. Rowling has heard Harry Potter and Hogwarts Legacy. Her statements, while she is the author, the creator of the Harry Potter universe, have nothing to do with Harry Potter or the universe. So this is one of those things I don't understand. I get it. There are some people who cannot separate the art from the artist. But in this situation, her statements on Twitter or her statements on social media and the interviews and whatnot, they have nothing to do. I do believe in her writing and in her books, there's a good bit of LGBT, well, maybe not the T, writing in her ideas and in her books and whatnot. So unless she's, well, I mean, she's not forcing you to read it. She's not forcing her opinion. She's just voicing her opinions. I don't get it. Moving on. Creeping through the promotion and marketing of Hogwarts Legacy prior to release was the never-ending controversy surrounding J.K. Rowling's comments. Obviously, this article is going to call them transphobic. You make that decision for yourself. Their comments. I guess everything is phobic. Everything is racist. Everything is sexist. Everything is homophobic. You just have to find it and stomp it out. Had a Sarkeesian moment there. Rowling's comments on the trans community in conjunction with the re-examination of portrayals of people of color. Oh my God. Re-examination of portrayals of people of color in the Harry Potter books have essentially reduced the legacy of Harry Potter from a juggernaut in young adult fiction. It still is. You have adults, parents, like myself, who introduced our children to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, into the Harry Potter books and movies and everything. And that's what's going to happen again. If you have a popular franchise like the Harry Potter universe, Harry Potter books, you read it, you like it, you introduce it to your children. The next generation, they introduce it to the next and the next and the next. All this ideological posturing will not stop people sharing the Harry Potter books. The only thing that will stop it is this woman right here. When she decides to make it garbage, when she decides to change things to the point, not anyone else. I'm sorry, but I believe it is such an insignificantly small group of people who go out of their way to attack her words and her comments and everything and the like, because regular, average, everyday people just like reading the books. No matter what you do, she's making all the money. She's made all the money, and she will continue to make all the money no matter what anyone says or anyone does to try and, quote-unquote, cancel her. And the same thing is going to happen with Hogwarts Legacy Part 2. People are going to wonder if one feature or another that was not in the first game is going to be in the second game. There's going to be excitement because the love for Harry Potter will still be there, and it will be passed on to the next generation. And like I said at the beginning, depending on how the HBO series goes and when it comes out and how close it comes out to the video game, it could send the sales even further into the stratosphere than the sales for the first game. Knowing J.K. Rowling's controversial positions, is this all this article is going to talk about? Instead of talking about the game, this is what every single other article did when the first game came out. Instead of actually talking about the game and what it could be You send out slurs, turf, talking about transphobia, positions, and controversial statements against the trans community. If you don't know what she said, go look it up for yourself. Make your own opinion. Don't let moronic articles like this sway you one way or another. Form your own opinion. I'm just here to talk about the nonsense surrounding the covering of all this stuff. Harmful statements. Again, we have an author, the writer of this article, whose only goal is to push you in one direction or another. Hogwarts Legacy 2 will likely take the same approach as its predecessor. If that's the case, look forward to it selling in the tens of millions of copies again. If it does that, here's the bartender in question that everyone thought was just a man imitating the voice of a woman. You think about that and decide for yourself. Like I said, come to find out, it was a British trans woman voice actress. You decide how that went. Transgender Potterheads still exist. Nobody says they don't. Despite Rowling's statements. I don't think... Anyway, go find out for yourself. So the expansion of Serona Ryan... Oh, that character. Here's the problem. I do believe it's been stated that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is going to coincide with the beginning, with the start of the HBO series. So I do not believe good old Serona here will be part of the game. Right away, a few ideas spring to mind. Serona Ryan's role as the head proprietor of the Three Broomsticks could be beneficial to the plot if the bar serves as a key location in Hogwarts Legacy. Why would it? Why would it? It's actually the school that is supposed to serve as the key location, right? It's supposed to be the school. Everywhere else are secondary locations. Again, we're talking about statements from J.K. Rowling instead of talking about the games. Over the last 7 years regarding the community, the transgender community, let's not leave that out, have unfortunately damaged a piece of media. Really? I wonder what the sales figures are for the books. How many different editions have those have sold, have been printed? I mean, obviously, it couldn't have damaged much because, well, the game sold 30 million copies to date in 2 years. Seems pretty good if you ask me. I'm sure Concord and, not Concord, but Dragon Age the Veilguard would love to have even a third of those sales. Oopsie doopsie. Guess what the difference between making a fun game without any sort of ideological grandstanding, and say what you want. Hogwarts Legacy had a transgender character in it, but it didn't come across to me as beating me over the head with anything like that. They had a story. They had a message. They had some, I guess, some care went into their quest line and whatnot, but it wasn't beating anyone over the head. And then you have Dragon Age the Veilguard, which was constantly smashing you in the face over and over again with dull and boring ass gameplay. Hogwarts Legacy, open world that you could explore anytime you wanted to, especially when you got your broom. I did it. And then you got Dragon Age Veilguard, overly linear progression. But whatever. The news sites are going to start getting hard and heavy the closer and closer we get to Hogwarts Legacy 2, as well as the HBO series. The closer we get, the more these articles are going to come out, the more denigrating of J.K. Rowling, instead of talking about the actual product, because that's what they do. They do not have anything else. Nothing is original for these people anymore, spouting the same nonsense instead of doing what they're actually supposed to be doing. Game rant. Talk about the game instead of person that's not even creating the game. J.K. Rowling is responsible for the universe. Warner Brothers is responsible for the game. Go in that direction maybe next time. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like. Are you looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy 2? Did you play the part 1? Say that. What did you think? I enjoyed it. I need to go back and finish it. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like, leave it a dislike. Share it with your friends. Share it with the enemies. And I'm already stumbling over my words. Bye-bye. Hope to see you on the next one.